Welcome to the 2020 Global Peace Film Festival interview. My name is Kelly Devine. I'm the artistic director. Please join me and Nina Strike, the executive director, as we welcome Maria Allred with her film, Little Nations. You can find out everything about this film on our website, peacefilmfest.org. The festival begins September 21st through October 4th. The film will be available for viewing during the entire period. Please check out our website, look at our watch tab and our events tab to see all of the programming available beginning September 21st through October 4th on peacefilmfest.org. And now let's start the interview.
Welcome, Maria. It's wonderful to have you with us, and tell us a little bit about Little Nations.
Thank you for the warm welcome in the intro, Kelly and Nina. Little Nations is a short narrative film that follows a piece of mail, which the protagonist, Hakeem, believes to be a very important piece of mail, as it's stolen from him and it travels through the hands of neighborhood kids and into their worlds as they try to help get it back to Hakeem. And in so doing, gives us a little slice of life of the Rogers Park neighborhood, which is one of the most diverse neighborhoods in the country.
Oh, and it really is a lovely film in which the kids co-star with the neighborhood.
Yes, yes, absolutely.
How long have you lived in Chicago?
I've been here for 2 years.
Did you particularly, was it something about the neighborhood itself that inspired you to make this film?
As a filmmaker, I'm very inspired by place, and this film, the origins of it really did begin when I moved from Portland, Oregon, where I'm from, to Chicago, to the Rogers Park neighborhood. And as I said, it is one of the most diverse neighborhoods in the country, and I was just struck by the vibrancy of all of these different cultures that are still very much intact, intermingling and creating just such a rich, colorful tapestry that I believe really embodies the true spirit of America. And so I just remember on the 4th of July, the first summer I was here, there was a flash storm, that we have here in the Midwest that we don't have over in the West Coast. And it just started pouring down and everyone was running everywhere trying to get out of the wetness. And I was riding my bike just with the biggest smile because there's all of these just different cultures and colors and shapes and sizes. And we're all just running from the rain. And it's 4th of July and I just remember feeling, this is the true spirit of America, and I wanted to make a film just to show that. Kind of simple, but that's what inspired it.
And it shows. There really is a lot of joy in the film that people will see when they get a chance to see it. Now, when you decided to make the film, as we find out so often when we talk with filmmakers, you start off with one concept, and the actual process, can be surprising. You can learn things. Can you speak to what the process itself was for you?
Yeah, well, I kind of was inspired by the red balloon. So I wanted to anthropomorphize an object, which is the male. And I think that for me, the process, well, it was a new thing for me to work with so many actors, so many young actors. And so it was a learning curve just to kind of gather all of the actors and deal with so many different ones. All in one day, in a few days period of time that you shoot a short film in. But what I really learned, a number of my actors were non-actors and they're immigrants from various places. And what I learned, and also I should just iterate that another thing that really inspired this film was that a lot of my new friends were immigrants. And I got a really fresh perspective on what it means to be a citizen of America and to actually have the security and safety of being able to call this home. Because I never really considered America as a place. I mean, being from here, I considered my little cities as places. And I started to think about America and what it means and what the true spirit of America is, seeing it from the outside, from my new friends who were not born here. And that it meant very much to them to be able to actually freely live here. And they had been upstanding citizens for many, many years. And so what I continue to see through making the film with my actors, who were also, a number of them were immigrants, was just how important it was to them, how much meaning it had to them to gain citizenship or their green card. And my main actor, one of my main actors, Thabet, the older gentleman who's in the wheelchair, he's from Iraq, and he was just had so much zealousness about America. He was so excited and had so much love, and that kind of love you don't usually see from people who are from here. You see it from those who are coming here, who understand we have many problems here politically and otherwise, but you get to understand the freedoms and the opportunities and the possibilities that are given that don't exist in many of these other places. And so I was able to just kind of continue to see that by working with my actors from Syria, from Iraq, and just to understand the meaning of sanctuary, the meaning of taking refuge, and just this place, and that we're all, here together, immigrants ultimately, even the natives. We all came from Africa originally, so so I think the learning part was just to continue to learn the meaning for them of being able to really freely exist here in this country.
It is lovely, isn't it? Talking to other people and seeing aspects that maybe you've taken for granted in your own life through fresh eyes, right?
Absolutely. I mean, I wouldn't. Yeah, it's very true, and just kind of with the rhetoric that has been happening the past few years around kind of this anti-immigrant rhetoric, just to understand kind of the unease that they were feeling, and because of that, and it became all of a sudden the issue of immigration became very important to me, because like all my friends were immigrants. I didn't want to see them go, and so I mean, you can get your whole life uprooted. They are a part of our country, and so yeah, it's a really lovely film, and there's so much heart in it. And I think you also what you really handled very deftly was this lovely modulation of all of the moods, all of the, because of the young people, they all had their, as you said, you were following this piece of mail as it's handed from one person to another, and the transitions were just handled so beautifully. Thank you.
There's really this very lovely flow that sometimes is very playful. Sometimes some of the characters are using the letter as a way to try and endear themselves with a member of the other sex. And then for it all to culminate, as you said, with this older gentleman finally getting that piece of mail which was intended for him, there is I'm just welling up a little just thinking about it.
Thank you so much. Yeah, it's I did like kind of play with a sort of lyricism and a lyrical mood moving through the different cultures, and kind of the young perspective of just kind of what could become, even the bullying, and how the kid at the end changes and helps. I mean, these bullies are so little and weak themselves. I mean, and it's kind of a funny thing. It shows how those, that we'll pick on those who we can, and the ones who want to. And I think that there is a playfulness about it, though, just kind of seeing it from the young perspective, things that as adults, and we create much bigger issues that start so small. And then now, as in the adult political world, it becomes wars and whatever, but I wanted to keep it that fresh, kind of light. And I think that's one of the messages I want to also give through this, is just to open our hearts, like we're children, guilelessly and innocently towards other cultures, and also to be able to honor our own culture, to be unapologetic about where we are from and what our culture is, and to not try to make it the same, because that's what's beautiful about these cultures that make America what it is that it's not, we're all different, and we all have gifts to offer each other, and different, that's what makes it beautiful, is the differences. And so I wanted to come from that young perspective, because I think that we can all revisit that and open our hearts in this guileless way with a curiosity towards each other.
Well, that is a very lovely way, to put it, and a very lovely sentiment to impart to anyone out there listening to this. And because a central part of what our festival tries to do is to inspire people to take action, to watch these films and maybe take something back into their own hearts or in their own communities and make the world a little better place. And that's a really lovely way to frame it.
Yeah, and I would say, just to add to that central message of your wonderful festival, is that for me, I think a message I want to impart through this is to be a neighbor. and that I think our local communities now more than ever are so crucial and important. I mean, as you can see with everything that's been going down, just how our neighborhoods and those around us, our local communities, become much more essential. And so I would say, be a neighbor, be a good neighbor, open your mind, open your heart to those who are different than you and those who live in your arena, and kind of strengthen your local communities and be a good neighbor to those around you and be kind to those around you.
That's such an important message for everybody, especially these days. So what's next for you, Maria, and how can our audiences support the work that you do, the Little Nations and future work?
Well, Little Nations is going into its online festival run, and I'm excited to be at the Global Peace Film Festival with it. So support it by watching it. Come join all the links and follow the links that they're going to give you, and come watch Little Nations. And I'm working on my next feature film, which is called The Watcher's Game. It's a psychological thriller. I'm mostly into mind benders. Little Nations is a little bit of a foray for me, but so I'm working on The Watcher's Game. I'm in the script phase, the development phase for that. And I'm also just finished another short film called The Sacred Fool this summer, which is very much in the heart of the pandemic and what's happening right now. And it's about a guy who lost it all and had to move into a tent by the river in Portland, Oregon, and go on a little existential journey to find what he truly desires now that he's lost what he thought he wanted. And so, I'm just continuing to make my work. You can follow it along on my website. I do have a newsletter. And yeah, so watch Little Nations at the Global Peace Film Festival. That's how you can support.
Well, thank you so much, Maria, for joining us. This has really been, thank you for sharing your thoughts and your insights with us. And for everyone who's watching who may have a question for Maria that we didn't get to, go to our website, peacefilmfest.org. On our film pages, we have a Google form called Submit a Question to a Filmmaker. If you fill that out, and it's very simple, you just need to put the title of the film, your question, your name, and your email. We'll get those off to Maria and to all the other filmmakers so that you can be connected and get your questions answered. Again, tickets are already on sale for all of our events. The festival starts September 21st through October 4th. Check out Maria's work on allredfilms.com, and be sure to check out all the programming of the Global Peace Film Festival at peacefilmfest.org, and we'll see you at the festival.
Thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome.